Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Ryan here, FibKing Trading. So this is my first on the new stream setup of our trade reviews. So I'm going to take a look at some trades that we did last week, including Dish Network, Microsoft, Bank of America, Starbucks, and then we're going to go to the future side and look at gold. First step here, we're going to look at Dish. Okay, Dish Network. We had some calls on this. And what we were looking for is higher. So we're looking for the 35 range. So I'm just going to go ahead and mark that up on the chart so we can see our target. And we're just going to label this price target on the right so we can see it. So what are we looking for? How do we get there? And what roadblocks do we have? So really, with our high being here and our low being here, I'm not really concerned about this area. Maybe there's some kind of levels that's in play. One could argue maybe the 618 is in play. So what I'll do here is I'll just leave it highlighted. I want to turn it red so that way we know it's an old level, but really I want to focus on is this last wave down. This is what I want to see, and let's take a look at it and what potential trades we could make off of it, or find support resistance. So we're going to go this high, going to go to this low, and look at this 618. This is right where we've touched. Now when we got into the trade, we were down here, started to clear, and so we were on the move. Now I could come here, one of my favorite setups is low to the high, and once we got above this particular area, I'm going to put this yellow so we can see it better. Once we cleared out of this zone and started to make our run higher, we wanted to give, this is going to be our next target. Okay, there's a particular setup I like to call this, and it's one of my favorite setups. I trade it often. It's just a classic move every time it happens. Some of y'all know already just by looking at it what it's called. So but that's it. Here we are, 27.5. Bam, we get up here to 30.73. We almost hit this high right here, 32.08, 32.19. So within 11 cents of that 618. Now our price target is higher. So what do we got to do? We got to continue. We got to break this 618. So I'm going to set an alert there that if it crosses above, is a good thing. Okay, so if it continues higher, does this old 32.87, this old 618 level come into play? We'll see. But if we can get to this 34.28, that's going to be close enough to our target. Okay, I don't have to hit 35 exact, but that's where we want to be. So really I want to highlight this. This is the area that we're shooting for to start taking some profit off of this particular trade. If you haven't heard me talk about or don't know anything about them, I want to introduce you to BlackBoxStocks. Very awesome company that does a lot of flow, things like that. You don't want to trade without them. They're a great product, and I want to show you also not just the classic move that was made, but also look at the flow. Okay, so we can come in here and we can look at the flow last week on Dish Network, and you can see a lot of these 35 calls were coming in. If we go back and maybe extend this out a little bit longer, but we had alerts on here, and the flow, the sweeps were just coming in pretty good with BlackBox. So another reason to kind of give me a little more confident that this trade, okay, we could take this into the 30-32, but they're buying a lot of 35, so let's see if we can push this a little bit further as well. So Microsoft, let's take a look at it. Now this is on to the downside. So let's look at it and where we're going, what we need to do. So a couple things again, you know, this low to the high is only going to bring a 382 down probably to this 195 area. Okay, so just actually below this last low here from September. So I'm not really concerned about any of this at all. Okay, so I'm just going to remove this, remove that, and I'm just going to focus here. Okay, so you know, let's clean this up again, and let's start over and see what we got to do, how we got to get there. And again, so first thing here is Microsoft, and we're looking at the 205. So I'm looking to play this to the downside. So let's mark our price level up so we can see that on our chart. And there's a lot of machinery. So we got some Mennonites that have bought land pretty close to me. And it's just from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. every night. I work during the dark, been burning, clearing off some farmland, but it's kind of been crazy. But this is our price target. The first thing I notice here is we have a gap in this area, so maybe we can feel that. I want to go look at this on an hourly. It's going to be a lot easier to see. Okay, so we can go and take our fibs, low to high. You can see 618 held, 382 past support becomes resistance. You can see the support here, finally broke after that second test. 618, 382 is all held. So how do we get back down here? Okay, and I talked about the gap. Here it is. The bottom of it is 206.43. So my focus is going to be right in this area. So what has to happen here is we got to break previous low again. Okay, I do, if I have the chart up, it actually gives me a signal once it breaks, but if I don't have the particular chart up, it doesn't. So let's set an alert there. It's set it at this 50%, which is pretty close to the previous low. We do have a small gap here, so I expect this 210 area to be pretty tough to break as well. If it breaks, we're headed to our price target. Okay, so that's just a little note that I know what's going on. And so we want to continue this momentum to the downside. Okay, what is a stop? You know, how are we getting out of this if this thing wants to reverse? Well, if we can break this 382 level, we're gonna have, you know, 219, 220. So I'm gonna say, and it's close, probably this area. More than likely this 618. If that breaks, we cross above, this is going to be my stop. Okay, some of you can use that as your levels. This particular option was like $7. We bought the January monthlies, and so, you know, you take 50% of that, 40% of that, whatever that may be. Or you could use the fib levels as well. So I kind of mix and match a little bit of both, but how do we get there? How do we get to our price target? One, we got to break previous low. We got to break this, and then let's fill this gap, and that gives us a target. This is where we want to be. Okay, and again, I'm just going to share with you, look what, you know, put this trade on and suggested that maybe we're headed lower? Well, a couple things. One, we have that classic move halfway back, down. Here's the halfway back is at 50%. And now can we move that way? And then of course black box. You can see these expire in January, that's the monthlies, but look at the flow on the 10th. Now it didn't just stop on the 10th, here comes the 12th. And as the 12th came along, which was Thursday, where was this stock? This is when that halfway back move happened. So here they are buying on the 10th at the low. We pull back and they're adding to that position. Okay, so 205 puts for January, got plenty of time, 60 days out, and so we can just hold it right there and see. Again, give us plenty of time to make this play, happen. Again, stop wise, right around the 220, 221 area. That's Microsoft. Let's look at Bank of America. Now Bank of America is on the call side. How do we get to our target? What's going on here? So our price target's up here at 30. You can see we have this level to break. I actually had this one already up as well. So let's just start over and go through it. So again, we can look at this high to the low swing. A lot has taken place since March. So is that really, really necessary? Now look here, this 618 held, this 50% is held, so I would say these levels are still pretty much in play. So we'll just keep those up. You can even change them to red, so that way, hey, we know that they are old macro type levels. And then really let's focus in right through here. So we got to put our target up, and on these particular ones we were looking at the 30 calls. So let's mark that on our chart. Price target. And how do we get there? So we've cleared this 50%. Here we are, we're back above. It's always a good thing. Then all I'm looking here is looking left. We have this high. Look at this closed there. This touched it, and then this touched it, and then closed down just below this 27.75 area. So this really has to get above that. Now I got an alert this morning that I had an old price level, so we'll probably see that on a daily or on the hourly chart, but really we got to get above this, and then this old 618, we got to clear this to get to our target. Now let's go to an hourly, see where we are. We are up pre-market, so that 27.50 that we talked about on the daily, which was this previous high back here in August, we have cleared that pre-market, which is a good sign. And then here 28.84, so we're moving higher here. So that is how we are looking for Bank of America, getting into our targets up here. If we can continue 27.95, so this is up almost $1 on the day pre-market, and see if this thing can continue its run to the upside. So 28.93 to 30, so that's again puts us well within $1 range. So as the momentum is going, that's where we want to look to take profit at. Okay, and last let's take a look at what we have. Starbucks. So let's take a look. Starbucks. So Starbucks our price target here is to the upside, and we are looking at 100 calls. So if we had to go out, we have to go back, look at a weekly. 99.72 is the all-time high. So I'm saying, can we retest this all-time high? Let's look at a daily, see where we're at. Not a lot, again, we want to come here and we want to draw fibs. This is not going to help us low to high at all. Look left. Really, we had to clear this area. We've done so. Here we are again, kind of hung around, and finally we're breaking out. We broke out earnings just after earnings, actually, and then hovered around. So we need to retest up here 97.65, clear this all-time high. Let's label that all-time high. So no, and get up there to that 100 level. So really, we just go back to an hourly. This is up pre-market as well. 95. This is up almost $2 pre-market, which is always nice to see, because these particular options are shorter dated. They actually expire this week when I chose them, so this is a good sign. What we had to do is clear Friday's high, which is right here at 95.59. Looks like we're doing so pre-market if things hold, and then again get up here to this all-time high at 99.72. Now let's take a look here at the option flow last week on the 10th. A lot of sweeps came in, 10,000, 11, 14, 11. They continued to buy on the 11th. They bought some more on Friday at this 100 level, all expiration this week. So I like that. A little more confidence. Again, they were a little cheap, right around 50 cents, up to 60 cents, and now here they got them up for $1 or 15 cents. So significantly cheaper than what they were at the beginning of the week. But of course, beginning of the week they were up here, thinking we're going to get there, but really this never broke previous low. Held it pretty well for the most part, and they just got a little bit better of a deal on Friday. But again, we're going to continue to see if we can push, get into the hundreds, is our target for this week. Last, let's take a look at gold. Well, so this is sold overnight, big time. Holy cow! But what were we looking for last week in the trades? Did we want to take? And it was based on a couple things. One was low RSI. We had a reversal signal, and we wanted to just take it back. 67s ran up here all the way almost to 90. That's over. That's a 23-point move. So huge. If we can get 8 to 10 points off of that, that's huge. And then once we did that, I went just this low to the high and tried to find some support. So we took the first initial trade just off of this beat down low RSI, and then we wanted to see if there was a potential, once this held, to kind of get it back above. So we found support right here at 185.86 short term, and then I just took that high to this low down here, and we wanted to see again low RSI on the 1 hour. Could we get a reversal? And we did, all the way to the 786. This was another good trade, and then I wanted to take it higher, into this gap. I wanted to clear this high. We had a huge gap here, and can we get to this 1898 zone? Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of, let's go back. Let's zoom in right through here so we can see this better. So first trade, low RSI, got a reversal signal. Here we are, bam. Okay, found the support, this low here, found support down here, low RSI again. It cleared, took it up again. Okay, so 50 zone, 618, however you're holding it, trailing it, whatever you want to do. 786 holds this zone, trades out of, and then once it breaks this 786 again, cheat code bound, see if we can get it up here. So a couple trades that we were looking at to try to do, and worked out pretty well last week. You can see, let's see if I can pull up the performance, but I don't have that up here on this particular trade. So again, it's this 786 1880. Try to take it up here, almost to 1900. Another 20 point move was the goal. You can see we cleared this high, kind of fell back, did it again. Now this high right here was 1898, so 0.4 ticks away from the target. So overall, you had 3 opportunities last week to trade gold. Now this is beat down again. I'm going to potentially look for a similar setup, low RSI. Okay, we've already had a bounce, but if we retest these lows, we gap filled here. If we can come back, retest these lows around 1867, probably 65, down in this area, then looking to buy this again. So anyways, that is my trade review for last week. Looking forward to getting started on the 16th and where things are headed. If this review helped you, please like it. Leave a comment of what you would like to see if you have something that you would like reviewed, and please hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on my pre-market analysis coming up at 8:30 a.m. on Monday the 16th of November. And also, if you are interested in BlackBoxStocks, there is a link in the description of this video where you can enter and join them for a month at a little bit of a discount. So you don't want to miss out on there as well. I appreciate you watching, and I will see everyone on Monday, November 16th at 8:30.